Hi, everyone, and welcome. We apologize for the delay in true Bosnian fashion. We experienced some technical difficulties, but we're really glad that you're still around. My name is Alma Alagic. Tamara and I are so excited to host and to be united with all of you this afternoon. This is our second annual Sit for a Cause Atlanta event. And this time, as you know, we're going virtual, but we're also live. Hopefully next year, we'll all be back in person. We're grateful to have all of you here. And the really exciting part about this year's event is that we have attendees nationwide, worldwide, to hear more about the Jericho Foundation. For those who have been supporting and following the Jericho Foundation for some time, or if you're a first timer, Jericho's mission is to empower the marginalized and truly the underserved youth in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Now, I'll hand it over to my dear friend Tamara, and she'll give you an overview of what you can expect over the next 45 minutes.
Thank you so much, Alma. And it is officially after 5 o'clock in Atlanta. So cheers, everyone. And thank you so much for joining us. As Alma mentioned, I'm Tamara Juric, and I'm so excited to be here co-hosting what's bound to be a fun and an inspiring event and sharing the special moment with my friend Alma for the second year in a row. We have, as she mentioned, an exciting agenda prepared for you today. And so over the next 45 minutes or so, here's a little of a preview of what you can expect. So first we'll hear from Joanna Shields, Jericho's founder, as well as some of our members from the Michigan team, which is where Jericho Foundation is based. We'll also hear from Mirela, our Bosnian-based program manager, who will provide a quick overview of Jericho's program and our top priorities for 2020. We'll hear from a couple of our students as they share their personal experiences being Jericho Scholarship students. And then, of course, we've saved the best for last, the raffle. So make sure you stick around. And if you haven't had a chance to grab tickets, you can still do that. So to kick things off, let's catch up with Muhammad and Amina, our students from last year's event, to learn what they've been up to since we last saw them.
Hi Atlanta, I'm here with Muhammad and Amina. These are our Jericho scholars and guest speakers at the last event last year. And we are excited to say hi and share. So I want to start by asking maybe Amina, can you tell us something about last year's event?
Well, for sure, last year event was so emotional for me. It was so touching because we had shared so many stories about our personal life and the struggle that we went through, and the people when we were on the stage. We saw that people were so welcoming and so nice to us, and I just want to say for that, thank you so much for your support and for the kind words that you said to us. So thank you.
I must say that it was amazing event, and I feel very warm with that people, very welcome. They are so kind, and for sure it was emotional to talk about that, but it feels like they are my family, and we connected like so close. And also thank you guys a lot, and it was an amazing event.
What is your greatest accomplishment in the past year?
Well, greatest accomplishment, not in just my last year, in my whole life, is that I finished faculty. I graduated, and I was so happy with that. And after that, I started to work in high school because my major is to be professor, and that is my biggest accomplishment.
Great. Amina?
Well, for me, for sure, was passing all of my exams at the first, and then also I was able to work with one of the dentists in private practice, so I have learned so many new things, and I'm really grateful for that. The goals for this year and for the upcoming year for me probably will be passing all my exams that I have next week, and also looking for to upgrade my work experience, to see to start working at a private practice here in Sarajevo.
My goal for next period is to apply on master on my 5th year, to continue to go to faculty, and I hope I will still work in education, and that is my biggest goals for next year. I just want to say thank you, really, guys. Your help means a lot and it motivates us a lot.
Say thank you for your generous help, and with your support we will be able to succeed. So thank you so much for that.
Great. Thank you so much for being with us.
Hi, Atlanta. We're here in the Kalamazoo office, and we're so sorry that we can't be there in person with you. We're excited about tonight, and we just want you to know that we're behind you. I'm Joanna Shields, the director of the Jericho Foundation, and I'm here with Kaylin, who's the director of marketing and communication, and the director of finance, and Raquel, the U.S. program manager. So thank you again for all of your support, and we're so excited for tonight. Bye.
Bye.
Welcome, Atlanta. I just would like to say a special thank you to Alma and Tamara for kicking this off, for starting this movement down in Atlanta for support. We are so grateful for the time and the energy and the heart that you have put into this. I wish we could be there in person, but we all know we need to be safe and at home. So thank you for joining us tonight for the 2nd annual for the cause in Atlanta. We started in 1993, and that was when my sister-in-law was the first American civilian killed during the war. That kind of put Bosnia and Herzegovina on the map for me. And about a year and a half later, I had the opportunity to travel to Croatia to work with refugees. When we arrived at the refugee camp, it was tough. It was tough to see the conditions that the people were living in. At the time, the women had been doing knitting, basically just for something to do. And as I stepped out of the group, I looked off to the side, and there was a mother standing there. Our eyes connected, and I felt like she had this look on her face like, I can't believe I have to do this, but I have to do this. I've got to push into this group to get somebody to buy this. So I walked over to her. I showed her a picture of my daughter, and she got really excited and called her daughter, and from that point, there just became this connection, and it was just 2 mothers talking about their daughter. Melissa was her daughter's name, her oldest daughter, and she knew a little bit of English, so they immediately invited me into their room where they were staying. My first experience with strong Bosnian coffee, and it was during that short time of 45 minutes, that the bond was formed. And as I was leaving and saying goodbye, Melissa just said a simple phrase that a little girl would say. She said, "Please don't forget me." And I promised that I wouldn't. And basically those four words, that phrase, changed her life and my life forever. My husband and I were just moved that we had to do something. We really didn't know what to do. We thought it would be rebuilding. That seemed like it made the most sense, to rebuild a home. I always jokingly say really Melissa started the foundation, because she was the one that explained to us that the infrastructure had been destroyed, and that families that used to be able to make a living, with agricultural or working in factories, that was no longer a possibility, and that there had been a real brain drain from the country. Basically, people that had education and had means had left the country. So really, their only hope, her only hope, was to be able to go to college so she could support her family. So we started the foundation in 2000 with really the intention of putting Melissa and her sister, younger sister, through college and then closing it. But students kept coming, and really eager students that were equipped, that had the knowledge, the academics to be able to succeed, but really just needed that little bit of helping hand. I mean, they were willing to put in the work. They just needed that helping hand. And so we went from 2 students to 8 students, to a dozen students. And now, 20 years later, we have 47 current students and 35 alumni students. Boys, we celebrate our 20th anniversary and think about what could be ahead for the next 20 years. I'm thrilled. I'm so excited. I know right now that we have students that are employed and are now monthly donors. I see that growing as more students, the success in their life, and it's really awesome to see them give back. I see our staff growing in Bosnia. I see down the road, of course, expanding with more students. And then looking at that second maybe level of how do we help entrepreneurship grow in Bosnia, and I'm really excited about that. Looking back over these 20 years, I think some of the things I'm most proud of is that we have continually changed in regards to what the students need. We didn't stay stuck in one type of mold. We really listened to our students. We listen to our advisors that are there in Bosnia, our program manager, and really continually look at, are we meeting our mission? Are we meeting our goals? And we have always been willing to change and tweak the programs, to be able to accomplish that.
Wow, how inspiring is Joanna's story about how the Jericho Foundation was founded 20 years ago. Isn't it just incredible what can come about over a cup of strong Bosnian coffee? It's also wonderful to hear from our very successful students, Muhammad and Amina, from our in-person event in Atlanta last year while they were in the US for their internship. I'm very excited to introduce to all of you this next segment. You're going to be hearing from Mirala. Mirala is Jericho's Bosnian program manager. She is what sets Jericho apart and truly aids to the success of the foundation. Having a Bosnian on the ground and, quite frankly, who understands the Bosnian education system. So Mirala is going to give us an update on local needs. Let's roll the clip.
Bosnia and Herzegovina is still facing many challenges. One of the biggest challenges we are facing right now is young people leaving our country, and the number gets bigger every year. This is where I see Jericho stepping in and being part of the solution to this problem. By encouraging our young students, by giving them the resources that are absolutely necessary in order for them to finish college and find future employment, we can be that solution. We have a holistic approach to thinking about higher education. We're not only thinking about students getting that diploma, but we are also thinking about how are they doing while they are pursuing that diploma. Are they really using the best potential they have? Are they really using all the resources that they can have during their studies? So this is how Jericho is approaching to that higher education. We also give scholarships every year to our students, and we make sure that we provide everything that they need in order to be successful in their college and in their higher education. So Jericho is making a change by focusing on marginalized youth, like I said previously, people who live in smaller cities or even remote villages who really didn't have opportunity to study before, can study now thanks to Jericho scholarship. And this is something really exciting. And this is why I really enjoy being part of the Jericho family, is because I get to see those people that wouldn't have opportunity really going for it and studying hard and finishing their colleges and finding a good employment. This is not good just for them, but also for their entire family. So why I love Jericho is that Jericho gives hope, not just to students, but also to their families and for the generations to come. And I'm so excited that there are so many people like yourself who see the potential of young people, who are willing to invest, and who are willing to give their time and other resources to make sure that Bosnia once again becomes the beautiful country that it was, and becomes a country where people can really reach their full potential and where young people can see hope. So thank you so much for that.
Hello everyone, thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Raquel Owens and I am the U.S. Program Manager based out of Kalamazoo, Michigan. Thank you for your patience as we got things off the ground tonight and things moving. We're so glad that you're joining us from different parts of the United States and possibly even the world. Unity is a pillar of Jericho, and tonight we're all coming together to be united to support this great cause. We've heard from our staff, from some familiar faces from last year, and now you're going to hear from a new face and a student in our program named Amina.
Hi Atlanta, my name is Amina and I'm a medical student at the University of Sarajevo. I have been a Jericho Foundation scholar for more than 2 years now, and it is my greatest pleasure to share this moment with you and to express my sincerest gratitude to each one of you. You are creating beautiful life stories. Even though I'm on a halfway to becoming a medical doctor, I still remember the days when all of this was just a dream. Sometimes I even consciously take a moment to remember all the fear, the agony, and the struggle. You know, I like to say that the hardest part for me was the dream. Because then I was aware how many things I have to offer to this world, and I was so afraid that I will never get the opportunity to do so. But then I welcomed Jericho family into my life. I was blessed enough to be recognized and chosen by you. Thank you for creating a reality that is even better than my dreams. Thank you for not only supporting our education and better lives for us, but also thank you for being such an inspiration for all of the Jericho scholars. If you had known how many of Jericho students were introverted, frightened, passive young people who were only able to observe their surroundings and to imagine the day when they will leave it. But now, Jericho Foundation has so many youth activists who are brave, strong, and educated, who are ready to fight for their communities and to protect the ones in need. Thank you for shaping our personalities, and thank you because now we are not afraid to dream.
What an inspiring story from Amina. As a complete side note, Alma, I do want to mention how impressed I am time and time again at how well these students have mastered English as a second language. Don't you think so?
I couldn't agree more. Cheers to that.
Yeah. So one of the greatest advantages a Jericho sponsor receives is the connection that they're able to make directly with their sponsored student. By creating this more personal relationship, they can see firsthand how the program supports their student in their success, both academically and personally. Samir and Aida Kamber were two attendees at last year's event that committed to our Circle for Hope sponsorship program. And when I asked what resonated with them most, it was the investment of level of investment being made in education, and then more precisely, the commitment that Jericho has made to ensuring that those students are set up for success and remain in Bosnia upon securing employment. So here are Aida and Damir meeting and chatting with their student for the very first time.
We saw your story and we're very touched by it. And your English is amazing, by the way.
It is.
Thank you.
It's like we're talking with somebody here.
It's weird for us not to speak in Bosnian. And we're actually drinking Zlatna Jezva right now. You know, Amina and Muhammad?
Yes.
We met them last year. That's how we got introduced to Jericho Foundation. We live in Atlanta and they had an event here. And so we met them and we were like, we have to support this organization. Considering that somebody like Joanna, who, you know, had really very little connection with Bosnia, would care so much. And we're like, we're from that country. So we care even more. What year are you in your studies?
I'm going to be entering my 5th year. It's a 6-year program.
How do you like studying dentistry?
Oh, I love it. Like, just the fact that you get to change someone's life. I mean, you know how all the teeth health in Bosnia is. So just like helping, we have a lot of like people who are social cases and they get their teeth fixed for free. So just the fact that you help them smile for the first time in like forever, it just means a lot.
What are some of the things that Jericho does for you outside of just the scholarship? Because I know they provide a lot of other support as well.
All of us, I think, are more communicative, and they also invest in a lot of seminars and stuff. So we learn how to handle stress. We learn about soft skills, which is not really something that we learn about in Bosnia. And I know it has helped me tremendously because that's how I get my patients, right? As well as friendships.
I think that's what sets Jericho apart too, because you hear about scholarships. When I was talking to Muhammad last year, he was like, there's scholarships, but when you hear Jericho, like they're the best one. That's the one that everybody wants because of all the additional support beyond just the financial tuition that they provide.
Yes.
We hope that when you come for your internship, we'll actually get to meet you in person next year.
I really hope so too.
In the meantime, if you ever want to talk to somebody, we are here. You now have our contact information. We wish you all of luck and success in finalizing your studies, and keep fighting the good fight.
Thank you so much. It really means a lot.
Ciao.
Thanks. Ciao. Bye.
Wow, wasn't that so inspiring? It's so great to get the opportunity to see some of the faces behind the finances and hear how students' lives are being impacted by donors and supporters like you guys. Next, we'll take a glimpse at our mission in action, and you'll get to hear from more students in our program, key stakeholders, and donors.
Prije rata je bio relativno fin život. I zdravstveno osiguranje sve bilo mislim baš na nivou, ne znamo bolji mislim. Tad je bio najljepše godine svojeg života uzeo baš rat. Ja sam završio vojsko, služio i sa 19 godina maltene rat odmah me zatrafio. Najljepše godine života su mi uzeli.
Ja sam odrasla u jako teškim uslovima. Moja mama je umrla kad sam imala 11 godina. Desio je se rat, onda sam izbjegla u Zenicu. Ta stigma izbjeglice je uvijek išla za mnom.
When I start to go in the first school, some teachers, they try to kick me out from the school because they think I'm some special kid who need to go in special school with special treatments. I was thinking I will never be able to do something.
Ništa, zadesio te rat, 4 godine rata, poremetilo ti samu mladost, kamoli šta ja znam. Kako? 4 godine rata. Nisi tu, vrlo malo budeš kući. Većinom si na terenu. To znači, ako te zapane džego da spavaš u kakvoj izrušenoj kući, dobro si prošao.
Sam imala jako lijepo djetinjstvo. Ali me tad, kad sam imala svoje snove, očekiva nešto što čovjek ne može da vjeruje. Ali skontaš u jednom momentu da se sve te tvoji snovi ruši.
My dad was in a camp for a really long time during the war, and I would, to this day, when I was living, I would hear him scream, and I would hear him cry in the middle of the night, and a little kid, I would be like, what is happening? How can I help him? But there was no way to help him, I guess. We lived in some flat, and in 2003 was born my younger brother and sister. They are twins, but we needed to live. Then we lived in a small house without water and electricity. It was very hard, and my dad, I'm sorry.
Teško doći do egzistencije, znači. Teško se zaposliti. I kad se zaposliš, to gleda minimalno da te plati.
It's not just about the money they are giving. It's about the friendships we make here. It's about the love they give to us here. It's just like they said when we first got here. This is like a big family.
I feel that this organization is something people here really need, because not only it helps to educate others, it helps them, to mature and to grow with one another. I never met so much positive energy concentrated in one place.
Can you tell us about when you found out that you got the scholarship?
I can't describe you how much I feel when I was accepted for the Jericho. For me, it was impossible.
Well, first I didn't believe it. I thought it was a prank. I got an email and all the Jericho team contacted me. Everyone congratulated me, and I was like, wow, is this a dream or something?
I was like, can you repeat it to me? Really? I was so excited. And I called my family and said it to them, and they was crying. It was so emotional.
The experience of engaging with people that are different than you are always valuable. So I like to think it's just a little teeny tiny way that we can kind of work towards a better world that gets along better, and hopefully it makes a little bit of a difference.
Our faith definitely led us to wanting to host a Jericho student and just wanting to help others, to give others opportunities that we have here in the United States. Our mission in life is led by our faith, and it didn't matter what faith the student had as a background, and so we just love others and want to help others be their best. That's why we chose to have a Jericho student stay with us.
Jericho Foundation changed my life. My dad is now so proud of me because I'm just one more step to graduation, and he knows that he can't do that to me, and Jericho can. He is also so thankful for that. Jericho Foundation changed my life and my family lives too.
Expanding and growing our family to include extended people like Elmine is absolutely wonderful. There's one more person that we get to say happy birthday to. So growing family members by having people join your family for a short time is pretty amazing.
It's pretty cool how exponential the impact is. It's not just the one person that is with you or that you're hosting or that's in the program, it's their whole family, it's their whole community. It really feels like Jericho's goals are achievable.
The best part is that I meet these guys, Wolvertons, and the best part also is doing an internship, learning new things that will help me, when I back to Bosnia and start my own job. And so it's a huge impact and a great opportunity.
Jericho has been really understanding, very, very kind. I haven't met more kinder people. I haven't met anybody like that.
It's just one of this incredible privilege to be right here to plant seeds of change and watch these young people who have so much potential, and just to have the privilege of talking to them and getting to know them, encouraging them. It's so encouraging and motivating.
I believe there's a lot of obstacles awaiting me, but I believe with Jericho I will get over that obstacles and I will make a great future for the Bosnia and Herzegovina. I believe in hope.
Because of you, I can achieve my dreams.
Because of you, I will heal others.
Because of you, I can focus on my studies.
Because of you, I finished my first year of college.
Because of you, I know what hope is.
Because of you, we are making progress.
Because of you, I will make a difference.
Because of you, change is possible.
Because of you, I have more than a scholarship. I have Jericho family.
Because of you, I believe in hope.
I am honored to be with all of you tonight, and considering the various circumstances that are surrounding us, I can certainly hope that my message comes clear to all of you. A little bit about me. I was born in a town named Mostar in Bosnia, and due to the war, my family was forced to flee to Italy. And after various struggles, we had the opportunity to move to Grand Rapids, Michigan. Currently, I'm living in Kalamazoo, Michigan with my wife and daughter. It is very difficult for me to hear and see the hardships that students and families still face in Bosnia and Herzegovina, despite the war ending 20 years ago. It is hard to comprehend that this beautiful country continues to struggle and lacks educational opportunities for students and generations to come. 8 years ago, I had attended my first Night of Hope here in Kalamazoo. Being in the US, it was encouraging to find an organization that is truly impacting lives and offers a tangible way to make a sustainable impact in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Whether this is your first time or second time joining us, I want you to know and be clear to all of you today that we as an organization still have a lot of work to do. However, you are what makes us successful. This evening, you watched a video that gives you a small glimpse of what Jericho is all about. And the students, the amazing students, were you able to see the hope that Jericho brings to them? You heard about family struggles and the success stories that represent a generation of need within a country. Today, the event is one of our financial catalysts for everything we do. I've been lucky enough to meet some of our amazing students. And let me tell you, they have the drive, the passion, and willingness to do whatever it takes to be successful. Together with all of you tonight, we can provide them the necessary tools to do just that. I want you to know that our students are amazing. They're smart and they're kind. From mechanical engineers, doctors, veterinarians, to nurses and IT techs, they're eager to learn and give back. 100% of our students that have graduated and attended our U.S. internships, they've been able to find a job and are fully employed. They're not only providing for themselves and their families, but some are even sponsoring other students. I shared this with you because I want you to know that not only do we provide scholarships to students, but through leadership seminars and various trainings, we provide them a connection that is invaluable. It's crazy to think that this all started 20 years ago with just one student. And this year we currently have 47 students and 37 alumni students. I know you were inspired tonight, but now I have to ask you to act on it. You too can make a difference. Everyone has something to give. I want you to know that on average it takes $4,800 per year for each student. This covers their tuition, housing, books, tutoring, and a U.S. internship. Our goal tonight is to gain at least 10 new monthly donors or annual donors. For some of you, that might be $35, $50, or $100 per month. Other of you may be able to cover half a year of scholarship. We need your help. You already made the decision to take the time out of your busy schedules to attend this event. Now I ask you to go to our website at www.jerichofoundation.org and make that donation. We aren't just changing student lives here. After losing so much, we're giving back to families something to be proud of, communities someone to rally behind, and let me tell you, that's the kind of hope that changes a country. Again, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thanks to Igor for sharing his very personal story and shining more light on the kind of impact and empowerment Jericho scholarships make on our Bosnian students. And as you take a moment to make your decision to support and donate today, let's take one final moment to hear from another Jericho student, this time an alumni.
Hi guys, greetings from Bosnia. I am Edin Hasakovic, Jericho's alumni. I successfully finished master degree in mechanical engineering at University of Sarajevo. After 5 years of studying, just in a few weeks I found my job, and right now I'm a full-time employee in a domestic company which produces exclusive doors, blinds, windows, sliders, railings, aluminium and glass facades. As a mechanical designer, I'm proud of fact that I can sign our biggest projects in Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, and recently we exported many products to New York. So next time, if you'll be walking through Manhattan and Brooklyn, look carefully, you'll be able to see wonderful Bosnian facades. Without Jericho, I wouldn't be where I am right now. I'm thrilled with generosity I receive every time I type or speak with board members, my ex-host family during my internship, or any other Jericho members. You taught me that we can achieve whatever we put our mind to. We can celebrate diversity among us, which leads us to what we call unity. I met my lifelong friends. Remember, nice people make nice things, only if you give them opportunity to do so.
Thank you for joining us tonight for the second annual Sit for a Cause in Atlanta and virtual tonight. I hope you were inspired hearing firsthand from our students of how Jericho is impacting their life and also their families. Hearing from Aida and Demir and seeing them meet the student that they support for the first time, and seeing that it's not just the financial support but also the emotional support that means so much to our students. As Igor mentioned, our goal tonight is 10 new donors. For some of you, that might be $35 or $50 a month, and we are thrilled about that. For some of you, it might be a half-year scholarship, or maybe you can fund the full year at $4,800. But we want to end tonight with 2 students completely funded for the year. So thank you again for joining us for our first ever virtual event. And you can go to our website to see how you can join a Circle for Hope at jerichofoundation.org and impact a student's life. Thank you again.
This year, we had a really special opportunity to connect with the founder of Balkan Bread, a brand that creates custom apparel for the Balkan diaspora. In fact, you may have noticed the awesome shirts Alma and I are wearing today, representing both of our home cities. There is much more to choose from on balkanbread.com, and they currently have a 20% off sale site-wide, so check them out. Balkan Bread also hosts a wonderful podcast that aims to connect Balkans from all around the world by sharing their unique individual stories. And Alma and I had the pleasure of being featured on the podcast just a few weeks ago. So if you haven't already checked it out, do so shortly after this event. We are going to drop that link in the chat as well. So I think the time has finally come for the raffle, probably a moment most of you have been waiting for. Alma, can you help me out with that?
Most definitely, thank you. So everyone's been waiting. Drum roll, right? Okay, so for the Bose speaker, the raffle winner is Carmen Baker Guzman. Carmen, we will be in touch with you, so congrats.
Awesome.
Yeah, I wanted that one. The Sony, Aida and Damir Kumber. So we will always also be in touch with you.
Woo.
Congrats. The original photo, Nives Juric, is the winner. So congrats.
Congrats, sister.
Yeah. And the country club. So this very lucky winner, I'm very jealous, is Zoran Juric. So congratulations as well.
So with that, we thank you again for attending the second annual Sit for a Cause Atlanta event. If you have any questions or want to chat with us further, Joanna, Raquel, Alma, and myself will stick around, and feel free to post questions or comments in the chat. We saw that you guys have already been doing that, so thank you. And thank you for attending. Have a great rest of your Sunday.
Bye, thank you.
Hey, ladies.
Hello.
We'll stick around. I'm going to take a quick look at comments, see if we have any questions. A great job, everyone.
Great job, Atlanta. Yes. Thank you for doing cheers.
A lot of work. And we're so happy with everyone that was able to join us tonight.
Yes. Thank you again.
You. Cheers, ladies.
Cheers. For another year of supporting students in Bosnia. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been a tough year.
It has, around the world, and especially for our students. This has been a really hard adjustment.
Joanna, I know you guys did an emergency fundraiser this year as a result, and that was pretty successful. Anything to share on that front with some of the folks that are still sticking around?
Yes, we really were unsure what to do because many people in the U.S. are suffering and, loss of jobs. And so it was really some of our fantastic board members that really kind of gave me a little bit of the push to do that, because we knew that, considering in Bosnia, a country with, no government aid and no unemployment, So we had, I think, a goal of maybe 3,000 that we thought that we could, give our students a little bit of extra funding. Some of it was maybe even to help their families, because many of their families, if their parents were, working in a store or a waiter, were out of work. And so we surpassed, I think, 10,000.
Wow.
For the fundraiser. So for 3 months in a row, we were able to give students extra funding. So we were so thankful, and the students were just overwhelmed because they knew that this was affecting the world. And so for so many donors, to come forward and care for them on top of, what they're already doing with their scholarships, it was really meant a lot to them.
Oh, I can imagine. That's wonderful. Huge success.
Yeah.
I do see one question. It says, how many students do we currently have?
We currently have 47 students, and I believe 35 alumni.
Yes.
Yeah. So currently 47 this year. And I think it was because of COVID and the financial situation in Bosnia, we had a record number of scholarship applications. So we had 140 applications this year, and that's the highest we've ever had.
Wow. Yeah, and some of the alumni students that we've talked to have mentioned in the past that the Jericho Foundation and the scholarship opportunity is very popular and sought after amongst the student base all throughout Bosnia. So I can imagine, that number skyrocketing, especially in a situation like this. What are your plans for, accepting students going into this next year despite COVID still topping out?
That's a good question, Alma, because there was a moment that, we're a little nervous about funding, because we understand what's happening to everyone. So we had thought about not opening up the scholarship program this year, not taking on new scholars. But we really felt a combination of that would really scare our students and make them really nervous. If Jericho was nervous, it was also, a little bit of lack of faith of our donors. And so we decided, to move forward with that. And so we're planning on awarding 12 new scholarships for this year.
That's great.
Yeah. And I don't know if we mentioned, we have a student that has set a record for, I think, the fastest employment. And I don't know if maybe you mentioned it earlier. He graduated in veterinarian, and I think within 2 weeks,
2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't mention it today, but we did drop a line on our podcast with Balkan Bread.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I actually see a few more questions. Another is, how much does Atlanta need to contribute in order to help fulfill that need?
That's a good question.
Well, if we are trying to fund 2 students completely for the first year, it's $4,800 a student. So doing the math really quick, let's see, it's $9,400 is what we need from Atlanta. And of course, we would love to go past 2, but that would be wonderful to have 2 students that completely have a circle of hope, that a financial support, and then if a donor chooses, like Aid and Demir, just a drop-in call once in a while. I think I shared with someone that one time when Melissa was here in the US, she was asked what was the most important thing between our relationship. And I thought for sure that she would have said that it was the college scholarship, because she was working then, she was employed. But to this large group of people that she was talking to, she said it was the letters and communication. They were like a lifeline for her.
That's wonderful. Another question is, how can someone be a part of the Circle for Hope?
And
they can check out our website and click on how to get involved, and then they'll find more information on joining a Circle for Hope.
And Circle of Hope is really interesting because it can be one person, or you can gather a group of coworkers, a group of friends, people from college that perhaps you want to unite for something that's really important and you're passionate about. So it can go many different ways if you just kind of put your mind to some creativity.
Yeah, I've heard of whole families doing it, where they have used it as kind of a teaching tool with their children. You know, they're getting aunts and uncles and, you know, nieces and nephews all involved. We have one donor group up in Holland that it was a whole neighborhood, kind of everyone on one street met a student and then decided to join a circle of hope for that student.
And not to mention, it is year end. Tax season is right around the corner. I'm sure we all want to meet our tax bracket financial incentives. So it's a good time to put your dollars to some good use if you're looking for a spot for them.
Exactly.
All right, so I think one final question. You said holistic. What other kinds of support do you offer students?
And I'm going to let our U.S. program manager answer that.
So in addition to the scholarships, part of our holistic approach is walking alongside students while they are doing their studies. And so every year we put on 2 seminars for them. We do one in the spring and one in the fall. And that is a time for us to all come together and get to know each other better, but also use it as a teaching opportunity and a learning opportunity to learn more about skills such as professional development, financial management, emotional well-being. And so we listen to the students and what their needs are, and then we reach out to speakers to get them on board to help us. And due to COVID-19 this year, our fall seminar did have to also be moved to a virtual platform. So it was still a great opportunity to unite with the students and be connected, but it looked a little bit different as Sit for a Cause does this year as well.
Sure.
We're really looking for anything special that student needs to be successful too. You know, whether it's tutoring, whether it's English lessons, extra funding for transportation, you know, for exams, things like that. So that holistic approach.
Joanna, what other events are you hosting either this year or going into next year that we want our audience to know about?
Well, we normally have our annual event on November 13th in Kalamazoo, where we're based. And of course, that will be virtual this year. So that is the only thing that is planned for right now. So you definitely can check us out on November 13th. We'll have a silent auction during that virtual event.
Fantastic. Well, I don't have any further questions. So thank you again, everyone. Joanna and Raquel, we appreciate you guys being with us here today.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Bye.